Hey guys, Rascal here, and today I am reviewing the, I guess you could say, movie slash play Hamilton. This time with Mama Entertainment joining me.
Hey guys.
Now this was a very fun thing to watch again for me. I had actually seen it on YouTube. Someone had put each song up on YouTube in the beginning, and then when I wanted to see it,
Shame on her.
I went back to watch it on there, and I guess they got privatized or removed or something, and the whole thing was gone. So it took us a while to actually go back and see it. But luckily we got Disney Plus recently, so she was able to see the whole thing in its entirety without having to keep stopping on every video.
Yes, and I couldn't believe when she told me, "Oh, I've already seen it." I'm like, "When?" On YouTube. Why didn't you tell me? Well, I guess it was so good that she didn't think about it, and within 2 minutes of seeing this play, I could understand why. It is fantastic. It is awesome. It is brilliant. It is one of the best plays I've ever seen.
And we know this is not a superhero themed video or play for this month, but
It's a
this
superhero play.
Okay. It's still something that, we really wanted to cover, and it fit for July because it showed a fun little twist on joint American history. And I think part of what makes this work so well is that you don't know too much about Alexander Hamilton. This entire play is sort of like an entire musical where it's nearly nonstop singing, telling the story of Alexander Hamilton's life from the time he started to the time of his death. And the way it's presented is very well done. It's very entertaining, and it seems almost like its own movie, though it's on a stage.
The most I remember learning, seriously, is he was president, Burr shot him. And that's merely pretty much what you learn and which number he was. But all of these details that were within, you're like, oh my gosh. You didn't know all these different things were going on. You didn't know about it was being like a reality show, hundreds of years ago.
Yeah.
And you didn't know that really he had a hard time, had a hard life and a hard time.
Yeah.
And you just wouldn't imagine it, thinking he was president, that, you imagine a totally different way it happened for him.
Right.
But this was like eye-opening and pretty shocking.
Yeah. And it tells you in the beginning, as you said, first 2 minutes, they tell you why they're doing it. They pretty much tell you, like in song, why they're doing the plays. Like, $10, he's on the $10 bill. He got shot. He was president. You barely know that much about him. It's like, okay, he was just a founding father, and then that's pretty much basic information. And they took the time to actually tell the entire story. And there might be a little bit of interpretation in here, a little bit to make it more exciting, a little bit. And there's even videos you can watch on YouTube where they tell you the whole thing without the musical part, and they just kind of tell you the information, the history of the man, if you want to see that for real and find out what did they slightly make into fictitious, make it fun, or what did they keep. It looks like for majority of this they kept intact because all the things that happened seem very believable.
Yes. 2 things. One, the $10 bill thing, I'm seriously, I don't think a lot of people even remember he's on it or know who he is. They're more familiar with Lincoln and Washington and the bigger bills. But the $10 bill, it's kind of like it's a 10, and you don't even think about who's on it. But now every time I use the 10, I'm going to be thinking about it after this play. And 2, I really love the way in which Miranda did this. Again, it's unlike anything I've ever seen. And I would absolutely love to see another play. Pick another historical figure and make a play. And he may be thinking, been there, done that, but do it again. Because this is just so brilliant.
Right.
And I couldn't personally turn away from the screen. I couldn't stop watching it. And sometimes when we watch things, I'll do other things at the same time. I may be on the internet. I may be reading a book, but this time I was 100% focused on what was going on because it was just that engaging.
Yeah. And I remember when it came out originally, it was a while before either of us had seen it, honestly. Because when it came out, it was everywhere. It was always on the news. It was always on TV. They always advertised the play. Go see the play. They'd be on multiple places. It was all anyone would talk about. They would do mashups and stuff. It was everywhere for like over a year. So
Mm-hmm.
there was like Hamilton fever at the time. And
Yes.
we're like, why? How? Why? And finally we see it, and it's like, yeah, it's unlike anything you've ever seen. Because mostly, sometimes you see musicals, and it's like, what does this have to do with the story? And they just kind of hammer in songs. But this is one of the few times where the entire story is based in the song.
Yes.
You could have 5-minute songs and all of its story, and you don't mind because you're getting the entire story through each number. There's like probably 30 songs in the entire play or more.
The costumes were beautiful and accurate to the time period. You know, sometimes you'll see and you're like, why do they have that on? Or that wasn't there. But he had done his research. Everything was perfect.
Right.
And the actors themselves, every single performer was stellar.
Yeah.
There wasn't one person there you were looking like, oh, this person doesn't belong here. Oh, they miscast that person. Or they didn't do as well a job as the others. No. Everyone did well. I personally thought that the scenes where there was more discourse between 2 or 3 individuals were stronger and more powerful. But overall, the entire play, again, brilliant.
Right. And you also have to give credit to the set design. It looks like Disney gave them more of a budget to do some of their scenes. Because you can see like old footage when they did the plays on Broadway or in other places, and you can tell, you know, they have one standard set.
Right.
And here is kind of one set too, but you can tell there's different mechanics going on to make it look like they're changing places. The background's different. They're in different parts of time, and it's constantly moving, so it moves around, so it look like you're just sitting in one place the entire time. Like, are you going anywhere or doing anything?
Of course, I'm thinking of Hattori Bisco and behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so exciting.
Yeah.
This would be like something that manga would have, where they just went all out and got everything
Right.
brilliantly done.
So, thanks to Disney, they actually had a bigger budget to actually make it look like, you know, it's moving. There's actually places, they're going up different places, make it look like a movie. Now, we don't know, like, they call this sometimes Hamilfilm, because it's shot like almost nonstop with one intermission for a minute.
Right.
So they pretty much go almost the entire 2 hours without a break except for a minute. And for here, we know that they recently did a movie for his first play, In the Heights, on HBO Max. For Hamilton, I don't know if they'll ever do that, because the play that we see on Disney Plus is considered the movie. And it might be so well done that they may not do a theatrical version. I think this will be considered something theatrical, and they may just leave it as is. So it's hard to tell, would this ever get a big screen movie, or is it already so much like a movie that they don't need to change or adapt anything?
There's so much passion in this play, and there's just so much that's there that you don't see and haven't seen anywhere else. I think putting it into a film would be making a movie would be a disservice. This is standalone perfect. It doesn't need anything. It doesn't need any help. We don't need to see any elaborate backgrounds. We don't need to see them change places and all of these things that happen with movies. It's perfect.
Right.
So I think this is one time Disney gets it right. You know, they do a lot of adaptations, like the books. Every single one's horrible. But with this play, they called it right.
Finally,
it's perfect. This is the star in their crown. And if they could do more things like this, Disney would be stratospherically better than everyone else.
Right. Now, this is the first play we've seen by Lin Manuel Miranda, but we know he's done tons of songs for Disney and other people. He's become like a sort of rising star with Disney, doing a bunch of songs. Like the first time we heard him was in the movie Moana.
Well, it's actually my second, because we actually watched The Heights first on July 4th.
Oh, okay.
And then Hamilton was my second, but it was your first because you saw it on YouTube.
Right. And now he's getting bigger and bigger. He's constantly in movies doing these songs and plays and things. He was in Moana. He's in the upcoming movie Encanto. He's got the adaptation of his play In the Heights.
Do you have anything to do with Luca?
I don't think so. Okay. And mostly when they're musicals, he's now really involved in it. And he's also got the Vivo movie coming out on Netflix. So he's constantly in musicals now and plays for every company now, so he's really in demand. So I guess he's a musical go-to. He's even Mary Poppins doing some of those songs.
Yes,
Mary
that's
Poppins
right.
Returns.
He absolutely deserves it, and he's earned it. And excited, I'm really excited about seeing everything that he puts out. Can't wait to see more. And again, if you would mind, do another play like this on another historical figure. We would run to see it. We would love to see it.
Right. And lastly, I just want to mention that there were pretty much 99% of the songs were very catchy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there's really a song you don't like in here.
Very true.
Unless it's like you don't care for characters, and which is going to be hard to do.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy had quite a few favorite songs in here. I don't know if there's ones that stood out for you, just like the whole play in its entirety.
I liked everything. And if there's a character you possibly don't like, it might be Burr, because he shot him.
Right.
And he should have known he wouldn't.
Yeah.
And you saw what happened with his son. And Burr should have known not to accept the challenge or not to shoot. He should have known.
Right.
So other than that, no.
Right. And at least you know there's no spoilers, because if you know
history.
Yeah, if you know history, none of this will be any spoilers to you. So you can just watch it, and if you hear what happened in the play, it won't affect you because you already know the story.
And if you don't know this story or history, your school's not doing this job. This is basic history.
Yeah.
Regardless of how you feel about anything, this is basic history.
It was like if Schoolhouse Rock went on Broadway.
Right.
And they just did one subject, and that was the entire play.
Loved it, loved it, loved it.
So if you somehow you haven't seen the Hamilton play, check it out on Disney Plus. You can see that along with its extra features. It includes an interview with Lin Manuel Miranda on how he created Hamilton, and even an extra one where they talk with the cast of it.
And it's no extra cost.
Right. And we're sure that you're going to really, really love it.
Yes.
And let us know if you have seen it. Let us know what you think of it in the comments below. And you can even tell us if you had any favorite songs of it as well.
Absolutely.
So thank you so much for watching, and thank you, Mama, for joining me for this little review.
Thank you for having me and watching the play with me again.
Yes, it was super fun watching it over again, uninterrupted, because I actually missed one or two songs when I watched it on YouTube. I was like, oh, that was missing. So thanks again for coming,
Thank you.
we'll see you guys. I'll see you guys next time for the next review.
See you later, Rascal family.
Bye.